Hello everybody, my name is QueenE and Aaron Keller has just released another director's take with some balanced updates for Season 5. Let's read them. As Season 4 ends, I'd like to look at the game's balance. This season, we saw a wide selection of heroes get played, and for the most part, the game felt fairly balanced. From a win rate perspective, Seasons 3 and 4 were some of the most balanced in recent Overwatch history. With this in mind, let's look at 3 different topics from Season 4 and talk about how they will change in Season 5 and beyond. Specifically, I'd like to go over heroes like Junker Queen and LIFEWEAVER, one-shots, and crowd control abilities in 5v5. Finally, they're talking about LIFEWEAVER. Our boy has been suffering. He's been needing buffs for so long and my LIFEWEAVER heart bleeds. So, yes, please talk about him, Aaron. Let's hear it. There were a few standouts from a tuning perspective in Season 4. In the mid-season patch, Junker Queen was given a series of buffs, and she really started to dominate. Yeah, there's been Junker Queen in pretty much every single game for me. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's been pretty much every single game. Her win rate popped up by about 5%, and she went from being one of the lowest picked tanks to one of the highest. For most skill tiers, QueenE and Reinhardt were the 2 most picked tanks for the latter half of the season. However, at Masters and above, QueenE is far and away the most picked tank. One of the big changes that we made was to increase the healing received from her passive. We like this addition to her playstyle, but it makes QueenE too survivable, so we'll be reducing the health she receives from commanding Shout from 200 to 150 to compensate. We'll also be increasing the cost of her ult by a small amount since she's getting it at a faster rate than before the mid-season changes. Alright, so just a little bit of a Junker Queen nerf seems to be on the horizon, which, fair enough, she's been very strong. So I don't think that that's completely out of pocket. So yeah, fair. And I think that adjusting the commanding Shout because she survives a lot more, yeah, I don't mind that. But next up comes LIFEWEAVER. LIFEWEAVER is a really dynamic hero. He is. He really is. Some of the plays that people had pulled off with him during Season 4 were pretty astonishing. Thank you! I'm so glad you watch my videos. However, he's not powerful enough to be a solid pick for most players. Previously, we stated that we would like there to be a reason to pick new heroes over others in the roster. This is still our goal for new heroes. We want them to bring something new to the table. However, at the moment, we're looking for the best way to bring LIFEWEAVER to a baseline. Thank God. My boy's struggling, dude. My boy's struggling. Once people are playing him more, we will get a cleaner read on the character. See, yes, they needed to make him like stronger from the start so more people played him so they can adjust him from there. Like, I personally prefer it if they were to release new heroes in a slightly buffed state, just so that they can get enough people to play them so they can get the data on like where they need adjusting, instead of the LIFEWEAVER situation where people just refuse to play him and flame anybody who picks him to reduce the amount of people picking him even further, and then they just don't have enough data to really like find out where he's excelling as much. Like, oh yes, just please in the future don't give him the LIFEWEAVER treatment. Players will either start utilizing the varied part of his kits, or we can look into adding something else into it. In Season 5, there will be quite a few changes, mostly buffs, coming to LIFEWEAVER. We'll have specific details in the patch notes, but players can expect increases to his healing and damage output, a heal on life grip, a slightly reduced hitbox, and some quality of life changes to pedal platform. The heal on life grip, I swear, Blizzard, do you watch my stream too? Thank you. Like, we've been talking about LIFEWEAVER and how I want them to put a heal on the life grip since day 1. Oh, I'm so excited. I hope it's good. I hope the damage, when they buffed his damage coming into Season 4, they did like a tiny, like they tightened his spread a bit to try and like buff his damage a little bit. And I'm just like, that was very conservative. I hope they're not gonna be too conservative with his Season 5 buffs, because he needs to get played. He needs to get out there. People need to know how fun he is. These patch notes cannot come fast enough. I want to read these so bad. And some quality of life changes to pedal platform. Super curious what that's going to be about as well. Oh, imagine if they made it so like you can like bring it back down again if somebody like accidentally triggers it. Oh, that would be such a good quality of life change. We'll continue to monitor both Junker Queen and LIFEWEAVER and make additional changes if necessary. Oh, that's so heartening to hear. So basically, what this means, if I understand this correctly, is after these initial buffs and changes, nerfs, whatever, they will keep looking and then pretty speedy about continuing the change. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Maybe LIFEWEAVER will finally be the best support. The community has also voiced concerns over the number of one-shots from both Widowmaker and Hanzo. Yes. We'd like to reduce the frequency of these in-game, as well as shore up some of the extreme sightlines in some of our maps. Widow's damage falloff will change from 70 to 100 meters to 40 to 60 meters. Oh, I think that's about the same as like Sojourn's Railgun falloff. Correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong, but I think that's about similar to Sojourn's Railgun damage falloff. The damage falloff scalar will also increase from 30 to 50%. She will still have the ability to one-shot 200 health heroes at 50 meters or less, but further than that, it will no longer be a killing blow. Hanzo will receive a slight nerf to his damage so that he's no longer able to one-shot 250 health heroes. His sonic arrow will also be more recognizable by the enemy team. The intent here is to reduce his kills that feel like they come out of nowhere. I think that's really good. Like, being able to more easily recognize where the Hanzo, like, sonar arrow is and avoid those sightlines better. That's gonna help a lot, I think. But I'm so glad that they're taking a look at these one-shot heroes as well. Because, like, the reason they nerfed Hog so much was because the one-shots are just not fun to play against. So, finally, Widow and Hanzo, you are getting yours. We're constantly discussing the nature of one-shots in Overwatch 2 and whether they are healthy for the game in general. I personally don't think one-shots are healthy for the game. That kind of removes the whole point of supports in general. And as a support player, I don't like being made obsolete. All right, I can't save you from a one-shot headshot. I can't mitigate that unless I'm psychic and I can predict that, you know what? Widow is gonna headshot you right now, and then I grip him with LIFEWEAVER, and then people are gonna get pissed because like, why did you grip me? But then because they don't know you're psychic, you're gonna have to explain, like, listen, Widow was looking at your head, you were gonna die. But then I don't think the community would trust that. Lastly, I'd like to talk a bit about crowd control abilities in game. Oh boy. Okay. All right. When we launched Overwatch 2, we made some significant changes to our combat model. The biggest was the shift from 6v6 to 5v5. A part of that change was to remove most of the crowd control abilities from our damage and support heroes. Overall, we think that this was a positive change to the game. I agree. Not getting frozen by Mei, so much better. Not getting flashbanged by Cassidy feels so much better. At times, the original game felt like you were in a pinball machine. He's not wrong. But we have a lot of high mobility heroes in the roster, and the team can't always rely on their tank to take of them. Okay. So let me fill this word in for y'all, chat. Okay, a team can't always rely on their tank to take care of them. So, we're softening our approach here. We don't want to return to the state the game was in previously, thank God. Yes, please don't do that. But we feel there is room for more CC, especially soft CC. In our lineup, we'll be making changes to both Mei and Cassidy. For Season 5, with this in mind, Mei's endothermic blaster will be updated. The primary fire will still slow targets, but it will also build up to an effect that will apply a much larger slow for 1.5 seconds. For players of the original game, this will feel familiar to the way her old weapon worked. Oh boy, Cassidy's magnetic grenade will also get updated to deal less damage. Thank you. As well as applying an effect that slows and blocks movement abilities. Alright, so at least you're not getting completely stunned. But I have a feeling that we're gonna see the return of the slow into icicle to the face. You're gonna be super slowed, and then Mei players are just gonna icicle you in the face, and then it'll be suffering. you know what? I won't judge this until we actually get to try it and play it and feel how it feels in-game. But May has been pretty strong recently, and Cassidy as well. So I don't know if it's gonna make Miva stronger, or if it's like, if it's gonna balance them out a little bit more. Like the Cassidy's magnetic grenade, applying a slow and blocking movement abilities. Oh boy, okay. Well, I'm glad I don't play Tracer and Genji. You're gonna have an awful time against that. However, something that's cool about that though, you might actually be able to kill Sombras a little bit faster. Not that Sombras have been like such a big problem recently anyway, but still. Ow, God, oh, ah. On top of these changes, we'll also be making some tweaks to several other heroes in Season 5. We can't wait for you to see them when the patch notes go live, as well as the other fun things we have coming to the game that season. As always, thanks for reading, and I'll see you in game. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate the communication. Thank you very much. I'm relieved to see that LIFEWEAVER is gonna get some love. My God, I'm so excited. This might actually make LIFEWEAVER be able to climb in Season 5. So you know what I'll be doing in Season 5. Like, you may have noticed that I stopped uploading as many videos of LIFEWEAVER as I was planning to in Season 4 because climbing with LIFEWEAVER is just basically impossible. I made it up to Diamond 1, and that's the highest we got. And his win rate is sitting just around 50% for me, which is actually pretty good as far as LIFEWEAVERs go. I played way over 200 games with him this season, and it's been rough out there, so blessed be the LIFEWEAVER buffs. Patch notes, arrive faster. Anyways, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in game. Bye!